Good morning. It is February 13th. I am Dana Morangi, and this is our WildFlow portion of our superfood support call. We meet every week to support each other in our very unique healing or rejuvenating journey of our own personal unraveling. And what we all have in common here is a deep nourishment that we're receiving from a group of superfoods. That nourishment can feed our cells and inform us uniquely and very individually. And one way to understand how we are being informed and becoming more nourished is to tune into our body even more deeply. And the only way that I know to tune into our body more deeply is to begin to sense and be present to the sensations of the body. And that can happen in a variety of ways. Through certainly embodiment practices. Ancient embodiment practices are one way that historically we've connected to the body. That has typically come from an instructor telling you how and when and where to move. The unique thing about WildFlow is that we begin to drop the need for someone else to tell us what and how to explore and feel in our body. And we begin to trust deeply in our own intuition about how the body would like to move and be explored in relationship to our sensations. And so that is why we're here to experience WildFlow first, to feel what is deeply true and present for us, and then to begin to make decisions based on that knowledge, based on that deep knowing, based on that partnership that we're developing with our body. And that partnership is totally unique to you. So the first thing I would recommend, if it feels right for you, is to allow your eyes to close. If that does not feel right, then I recommend a gentle gaze. And one thing I would love to bring forth today in our practice is a welcoming to move differently. So we each have a pattern that we move in typically. And so that may begin by noticing your capacity to expand to your breath, to relax and open to it on the inhale, and your ability to just let go of it on the exhale. So with one or two more breaths, if you typically stay seated during WildFlow, I would encourage you to stand or get onto the floor. If you typically sit on the floor, I would encourage you to stand. If you typically stand, I would encourage you to sit. And so find that new way of exploring in your body. And from that point, I encourage you to follow the edges, follow the sensations. And the word sensations is very broad, but if you begin to create some angles, some creative angles with your joints, with the floor, with your opportunity that you have in your limbs, and just begin to notice, perhaps it's in your hips, perhaps it's in your shoulders. These joints can be portals for deeper understanding. And so I encourage you to begin to explore through the angles that you can create with your joints uniquely to you. And it may be slightly uncomfortable to not have direction. It's very feminine, it's very mysterious. But to know that no one's watching, that this is your sacred time with your body, that your body feels deeply nourished when you give it time and space to be in the sensations slowly. So we tend to move very quickly, but WildFlow encourages you to feel those edges very deeply, because it's in the edges of discomfort, quote unquote, discomfort or different comfort, that so much can be revealed to you. When I mean revealed, is our body stores emotion, stores memory. And so sometimes those edges are actually us bumping up against a belief pattern or a memory that wishes to be explored. Tension. So in the process of your quiet exploration, you're learning how to be present with those body parts that may otherwise have been hidden to you. It's so easy to walk through life and think, wow, I don't know that I've ever really experienced my low back and my hips. I don't know that I've ever really listened to them. And your breath can be the medium with which you explore. Giving yourself permission to be wild and relaxed. Primal in your movements. Subtle in your awareness. completely present to yourself. Noticing if you may want to explore the edge more deeply with more sensation, or maybe you're not ready to explore the discomfort or the different comfort quite so deeply today, but you can make note. There are very subtle cues that can happen. For instance, if your feet are on the floor, you can create and find tension and different comfort by changing your relationship to the floor. Using your body to press down on the floor in a different way. Extending in a different pattern up your chain in relationship to the floor, and so on. These are ways of getting deeper into the body with your own creativity. Putting yourself in positions that otherwise you would have no reason to get into. But it may activate something inside, a deeper curiosity, a desire, a memory. A noticing that you may hold your breath in a point of discomfort, in an edge, and what an opportunity to open to the breath, to the body's nervous system's holding. Sometimes I imagine all of the energy circuits that I'm activating in WildFlow just by opening up the nervous system, the fascia, to more circulation, to more breath, to more tissue activation, to different angles and patterns that create an awakening at the cellular level. And how empowering to know that you've done this for yourself through your own creativity, through your own awareness, through your own intuition, through your own relationship with your body. And these new cells that you're experiencing are jumping for joy. They're celebrating their activation. They're so happy to receive the attention they've been longing for. It's now safe for them to express, for them to absorb, for them to be a part of the changing pattern in all areas of your life. And so I welcome you to begin to bring this wild flow session to stillness. To come back to your space, whatever that is like for you. If you're catching this on the replay, I invite you to take some time to journal. What did you notice? How is your relationship with your body changing? Your reverence for it, your listening to it. And until next week, be well.